Hi and welcome to your relationship roadmap. My name's Keith Flynn and we're doing a series of 5 on the top 5 challenges people are having making changes in their relationships. So in the first one we covered the challenges people have with hanging on to the past. So I'm here with Mr. Michael Worthington, and number 2 challenge is taking responsibility for their own feelings.
That sounds scary. When you come up with these challenges, they're so poignant, they're so right on target, you can actually feel what you're saying to people. And this second one where you're talking about taking responsibility for your own feelings, a lot of people were saying, but that's not fair, Keith.
That's not fair.
Because it was what they did.
They did it to me.
Yeah.
That's called blame.
Yeah. But isn't it true that we go, okay, that sounds very, very simplistic, but I am influenced by everything from the outside. Is there no time I can actually say he or she caused this inside of me?
Right, let's start to break this down a little bit.
Yeah.
When I'm referring to taking responsibility for your own feelings, I'm operating on the principle that nobody can make you do anything.
I'd agree.
For those that have got children out there, has ever one of your children decided not to eat and they've shut their mouth like, and you can't get it in, and you play silly games to get them to smile and open? So,
Yeah.
in reality, no one can make us do anything.
Okay.
So let me just expand that.
Yeah.
The other point is that our feelings are on the inside of us. Just like we have our own view of the world.
Yeah.
As another sort of silly example, a dog can walk into the room, one child can go up to it and just hug it, and another one can go screaming from the room. The dog was just the dog. What it did was triggered 2 different responses in the 2 different children.
Mm.
So the way I look at it is, think of us as having these red buttons all over us, and people just push the buttons and we respond to the triggers. How we respond is our responsibility.
Okay. So am I hearing something inside here that just because we responded in a certain way in the past, maybe that just could be a habit, but we can actually change that habit. We can actually take responsibility and change that.
That's one way to look at it.
Right.
Yeah. Because I believe at every moment we have choice.
Okay.
And that you'll always choose to do the best that you can in that moment. So when we're stressed and tired, we may go more on autopilot.
Mm-hmm.
I was speaking to a friend today, and her partner had injured himself doing some work. And so what she's noticed is that he gets a little bit shorter when he's in, as in, not physically shorter.
No, he's shrinking.
No, it didn't lock.
Just locked him up in the knees.
No, so because he's in pain,
Yeah.
his temper is a bit shorter.
Right, okay.
Right?
He's less tolerant.
Less tolerant.
Yeah.
So sometimes when we get stressed, we are going to be less tolerant than when we're relaxed or chilling or like on holidays.
Yeah.
Yeah. So all I'm saying is that we have choice, and it's our responsibility to take responsibility for our feelings and what we do.
So when you're doing that, and you're very good at journaling, and you've got and watched video one that was absolutely brilliant with the journal. You came up with the past book and the future book. I thought it was a great concept and a great technique. Is this going to be the same? Are we going to have to write down what triggers us so we can deal with it? No? Okay.
No, I'm just working on the principle here.
Yeah.
Because in the rest of your relationship roadmap, we go a lot deeper into breaking down how we take responsibility and what it is to take responsibility for our own feelings and actions.
can we, apart from taking responsibility for our own feelings and our reactions to people, are we then, should we then be supportive of the other person? Should we be careful not to press the red buttons or the buttons that are all over them?
Well, consider this.
Mm.
If you intentionally press someone's button,
Mm.
the key word there is intentionally. So
Yeah.
you're intentionally causing someone pain. You're intentionally provoking a reaction.
Yeah.
Do you like your buttons pushed? Do you like people provoking reactions out of you?
No, I do
No.
not.
Yeah. But this is what people do,
Ah.
particularly when people get angry at the other
Yeah.
person or they're arguing. They know what to say that is going to be hurtful.
Mm.
And again, there's the video we did on anger
Yes.
being
Yeah.
in the last series. So underneath anger is hurt. So when people get angry and they want to protect themselves, they will fire buttons, and they know they'll even say things that aren't true simply because they want to hurt the other person.
Yeah.
So when we do this work, if you like, before people come to see me, they may be unaware, or they may use the excuse they're unaware, but when you write these things up and you
Mm.
look at some of the behaviours that are going on,
Yeah.
they then become consciously aware this is what they're doing. So in answer to your question, one of the ways you could do it is actually look at the behaviours that someone is doing that's causing you pain, or you're doing to them that causes them pain, particularly if it's intentional. And you really got to question, why do I intentionally want to hurt another person?
So what's some of the strategies that you employ to enable people then to get control of these emotions, to start working through them, all these reactions, so they do have control?
Well, the first step of anything like this is awareness.
Mm.
The first step is awareness.
Do people quick to accept this responsibility and for them to be aware, or do they kind of make excuses, or is it a bit of a process you go through with them, or are they pretty quick to go, yeah, that's me?
The way that I work one-on-one or work with couples,
Yeah.
people will end up being very comfortable putting up their worst behaviours.
Right. Okay. So they kind of know what they are then.
But because I've seen them play out. So when I do this working with people, what I do is I start out the session with blank sheets of paper, and then as they open their mouth, and I love it when they have arguments, because I mean everything goes, you can pick up all these things in arguments, and I just go out there and I write, judgmental,
Yeah.
criticising, telling them what to do, think or feel,
Yeah.
interrupting, but so there's these common patterns that I'm just pointing out as we go along.
Right.
And then one of the favourites for a lot of people is it's all about me. Because what happens often when people are arguing is they go into their own world to protect themselves. So instead of in a relationship where you have two people wanting to work together as a team, all of a sudden you've got two people adversarial. It's like being in their own bunkers throwing grenades.
Yeah.
And they've just stopped working. So they've gone into their own world. So when people go into their own worlds, it's all about me. It's all about the pain that I'm in, about protecting me. So I point these patterns out.
What are some of the I mean, you said they're pretty quick to put their worst behaviours up on.
I'm not
on
saying
the
that's
board.
pretty quick. By the time we've sort of, when we start working through the process, and it comes out in, again, the section we do with connection,
Yes.
because part of it is in the program, you see the knives come out. So
Yeah.
I ask people, what are the knives that you intentionally use to hurt someone else? And what are the things that are unintentional? That you, like, I'll ask, is there anything the other person does that causes you pain that they may not be aware of?
Okay.
Because what we've done is
Yes.
we've created an environment which is safe for people to share. Because remember, people are coming to me because they want to improve their relationship. And generally both people are in pain. And it's about being heard and understood and just recognised. So that's why people are quite happy to, once I've pointed them out,
Yeah,
because by this stage I've got a few pointed out, and then
I bet you have.
we ask them directly,
Yeah.
and I'll prompt them, like say, do you have any name calling going on?
Mm.
So generally when you ask people about that, they're not defensive. It's like, yeah, when we fight, this is what we do.
Yeah.
Because they know what their fights look like. So all I'm doing is making it tangible, just writing it up so they can see it in black and white.
And when it's tangible like that, and they're kind of going, well, yeah, that's ours. What are some of the steps that they need to go through to, you know, once it's up there, to start to unpack this, kind of dissolve these normal reactive behaviours, change them?
So going back to the previous series,
Yeah.
you know, anger and arguments,
Yes.
two of the common ones.
Mm.
So the first thing, if there's anger or arguments in there, first of all, we've got to agree that if things are getting heated or things are escalating, then one person needs to take responsibility to actually just walk away.
Okay.
It just needs to take responsibility. Let's walk away, come back and discuss what we need to discuss when we are both rational.
Right.
Because there's no point when two people are upset trying to sort something out.
No, it's not going to work.
So the first point is like quickly de-escalate,
Mm-hmm.
because continuing on is going to end up in a big fight and a big argument. So
Okay.
have a safe word if you like.
Yeah.
You know, just a safe word that like a time out, meaning that look, it's starting to get heated, let's take a break, cup of tea, whatever, let's settle down and then organise a time where we can come back to talk about this
Yeah.
appropriately.
Mm.
Another one, like for example, if I've had clients call me and they've been arguing a lot, before they come and see me, I'll simply say, well, why don't you have an argument book? Like every time you start an argument, stop it, write it in, and then bring it along with you. Because life's too short, and most arguments are over small things, and most are because there's been a whole lot of resentment happen, and people are just in the habit of arguing. I love it. I love it when I ask people, you know, just run me through an argument, and they'll give me the steps. Like
They
they
can actually
literally
tell you how it's
lay
done.
it out, put it in a flow chart.
They were really professional.
Oh, absolutely, because they've been doing it for years. Yeah. It's the same pattern.
Oh dear.
So-
I suppose there's a few people watching going, that's my mum and dad. They're perfect at this. They got it down pat.
So
Yeah.
key on this point is, you know, learn to take responsibility for your own feelings.
Yeah.
If someone says something, it's how you interpret it
Yeah.
internally that will generate the feelings.
Okay.
I'll explain that a little bit more. You about to say something?
Yeah, I was going to say, when you've gone, someone's looking at this now and they going, what is it, if someone's looking going, that's us, got it in a nutshell, recognise that, yeah, we're professionals at this too, I can give you the handbook. How do you summarise all this for people to get them to go, there's a way out of this, there's a way to break this?
Look, like anything, there's multiple ways.
Yeah.
This is why I put together your relationship roadmap, because there's over 40 different strategies in there.
Yeah.
So this is about looking at relationships completely differently, right? Completely differently, and then actually choosing to do something different when something comes at you.
Yeah.
So, for example, one of the things that I'll say to my clients, particularly the ones that are arguing, I'll simply say, please hear these words in front of the message that your partner is saying. And I'll often go like this: I love you so much, and there's something really important I want to tell you. Please be present. Please listen to me, because it's important to me and I believe it's important to the relationship. And then they might say, you're a douchebag, you're an idiot. Right?
I can see someone just starting to laugh then.
But that's what happens.
Yeah.
I make the assumption that in a relationship, if someone's calling you a douchebag or an idiot, something has happened that they think is threatening the relationship, that's caused them pain.
Yes.
And they want to express it, and that's just the best way that they've got to express it.
Mm.
The real problem in relationships happen when one partner has given up calling them a douchebag, calling them an idiot, because at that point they have given up.
Is this when you hear one of the most dangerous actually emotions in a relationship is just not with love or the hate, but the just I don't care anymore.
Pretty much.
Mm.
Yeah, apathy or
Yeah.
yeah, there's some dangers there. So that's why I say to people, listen. Yeah, number one skill in a relationship: listen with your heart. Hear beyond the words that they're saying. If someone is upset, what has made them upset?
Yeah.
So then we can start to take responsibility, and rather than treating it that we're being attacked, we can get curious as to what's going on in their world.
And I suppose this is going to lead us on to point number 3, on the step number 3, because I guess we get busy in our own worlds, either with work or with kids or whatever, and that's going to be step number 3, I believe, in
Well, maybe not
dealing
step
with
number
change.
3, but
Part
number
number 3.
part number 3 will do.
Yeah, part number 3 will be. Make sure you subscribe so you don't miss it. Keith, absolute pleasure once again. It is such a fascinating topic. Well, it's a very complex topic, and I had a look at the back of the, I'm just going to mention this, at the back of your YouTube stats, with over 85, 86% retention rate of people watching these videos, so, and the share rate is very, very high. So I think people are actually seeing real value in these and actually sharing. I would encourage people to subscribe, like the channel, and definitely share it amongst people you think it can help.
Thank you. Yeah, I'm here to help people with their relationships, especially where there's children involved. And the younger the children, the more important, in my opinion, it is to get it right.